Also Blade Baka. All right, all right, all right. So once again, catching up a little bit on some GAC. This one is against Arch or Arc. I think from TI, either TI or Caw. I don't know. That's the same thing to me. Caw's obviously better though. Sorry, TI. I ended up losing this one, even though I got a pretty decent score. He just edged me out by about 10. That's that's just how it goes at Division 1 when you're 6.7, 6.8, 6.9. You know, you can pull a 1900 score and still lose. I mean, you could theoretically still pull a pretty good score in any bracket and still lose, but it is certainly possible at this level, and that is what happens. It is, I think it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday? Yeah, it is Tuesday still. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Galactic Legendaries are coming out, so excited for that. Yeah, been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid. I love Naked and Afraid. I don't know why. It's kind of repetitive because it's a lot of the same spots and a lot of the same people. There are certainly a number of repeats, but I just find it thoroughly entertaining. Bella likes watching, well, I don't know if you consider Naked and Afraid trash TV, but I don't. But Bella watches a lot of trash TV like 90 Day Fiancé and whatever the hell that show is on Netflix, like the blind date thing where like you propose to each other in like a week, which I think is fucking insane. But that's the kind of garbage that Bella watches, so I'm more than happy to binge Naked and Afraid while Bella is at work dealing with Corona. Hopefully, I don't get it, but if I do, I do. I just need to make sure that my last will and testament is ready to go. I will, of course, bequeath my account to my Maw family, specifically probably Capafico, because, you know, he's poor and he needs a real account. So Naked and Afraid, just in case anybody out there that's watching my video also watches Naked and Afraid, I'm going to answer a question or questions that you might have. Who would I want to be paired up with on Naked and Afraid? And depending on the situation, if I had to pick a dude, I would pick Jake, the very handsome homosexual. And I'm not gay, but Jake could absolutely turn me 100%. And in terms of females, there are a number that I would pick. Melissa, whom was paired with Jake in one episode, maybe in Florida or something. She's really hot and clearly very capable. Or either of the Wild twins from New Zealand, because I love really attractive, really badass women. Most of you watching my videos do not know what Bella looks like or much about her other than the fact that she is a nurse, or really an assistant nurse manager. But Bella is Polish by birth. She grew up in post-Soviet Poland, so she's already pretty tough because she's Eastern Bloc. You know, those ex-Soviets are real feisty, and some of them are really hot, and Bella is no exception. Definitely hitting way above my weight class there. And she was in the Navy. Not only was she in the Navy, but she was a C-130 mechanic. She worked on C-130s. In fact, if you watch the movie Zero Dark 30, the closing scene where Jessica Chastain is coming back stateside, presumably, she is sitting alone in a C-130, and that is actually one of Bella's old planes that she used to work on. So I like really hot, really tough chicks. No offense, but I just, I need someone that can dish it out as much as I do, and Bella definitely does that. I mean, anyone that works with me and that knows Bella knows that Bella wears the pants in our relationship. And I have no problem admitting that because she's hot and she's badass. So I'm very cool with that. And she's also literally saved lives. Like, I know that all nurses and all medical professionals are lifesavers in theory, but Bella literally has saved at least one life, that I've witnessed. My job has an annual softball tournament every summer here in the city, and last year, one of our guys literally had a heart attack on the field, and Bella and no fewer than 3 or 4 others did chest compressions on this person until a bus came, that is an ambulance, and knock on wood, this person is alive today because of Bella and a couple of my other colleagues. So my fiance is a literal lifesaver. I mean, how fucking amazing is that? I'm obviously enormously proud of her in all things, but certainly in that, and the fact that she is a nurse, and the fact that she served our country. So yeah, digressing a little bit, I really like really hot, badass women. So Naked and Afraid, I would want to be paired with Melissa, who's a hot badass, or either of the Wild twins from New Zealand, because they are really hot and really badass. I'm a super fan, but I'm not enough of a super fan that I would go on the show for the 14-day amateur one, because I am a pack-a-day smoker, and I don't think that would go over well for me. And I also, although I played rugby for many, many years and wrestled all throughout middle and high school, and am or consider myself fairly athletic, I don't think my lungs would be too keen in that kind of physical exertion, putting aside the fact that I would, without question, get quitter's flu by not having a cigarette for, well, forget about 14 days, try 14 hours. But yeah, so I've been watching a metric fuck ton of Naked and Afraid while I have been basically homebound. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's actually really cool. You actually learn a lot of stuff. Even a city kid like myself can appreciate a show like Naked and Afraid. Oh, one of the other dudes I wouldn't hate being paired up with is Max. That guy he and I feel like we get along. We have like a kind of a bro-y sense of humor. So yeah, I think we get along. But definitely one of the Wild twins or Melissa, even though Melissa has a very distinct, like, Michigander Midwest accent. You know, like the I work so hard kind of thing, like Michigander, Minnesotan sort of a thing. It's fine, I don't mind it. I sometimes have a very distinct New York accent, and I'm sure that's like nails on a chalkboard for some people. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Waiting on GLs, watching Naked and Afraid, working from home, bored out of my mind. I literally only leave the apartment to go to Walgreens to get like snacks and seltzer water, and then the Bogey to get cigarettes. Bogey is bodega, to get cigarettes. That's pretty much the only time I leave the apartment. Rosie's really good. She'll pee and poop on my balcony, and then I just throw a ball back and forth on the balcony to get her some exercise. So yeah, I could totally just survive in a post-apocalyptic world that we now live in. Again, provided I don't get corona. That would suck. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hope you guys are not personally affected by Corona, although the likelihood is you probably will in some form or fashion. If you do, I hope that it isn't super bad. I know that there are a number of subscribers of mine that do have underlying conditions, so you all especially be extra fucking careful. I don't want to lose any subscribers. Thank you very much. Just kidding, I'm not actually that selfish. Although I am, but I'm not. So everyone just take care of yourselves. My mom is a strange sort of. Well, my mom is Asian, so she's really high strung, not to be stereotypical. She's very high strung, but she's always been kind of a hypochondriac and somewhat of a doomsday prepper. So I have more fucking bottles of Purell and soap and, alcohol wipes. My mom literally gave me a bottle of alcohol. To do what with, I do not know. But she gave me a bottle of isopropyl alcohol. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but I have it, worst case scenario. And then wet wipes upon Lysol wipes upon Lysol cans. And really big. So I don't even have to go to Duane Reade or Walgreens. I just go 2 doors down the block to my mom's apartment and pick shit up. Yeah, so, everyone just stay clean. I do think that the world is going to be quite a bit different once we get out of this, and we will get out of this. It is nice to see. I'm weird because I'm a capitalist, but I'm also like an environmentalist, if that makes any kind of sense. It's kind of counterintuitive. I really like animals. I really like the environment. I am definitely by no means a hippie, but I do love animals and I do love the environment. And seeing how the earth has healed herself over the last couple weeks with the amount of industry that has been basically shut down, the amount of pollution that's dissipated. I don't know if you've seen, but if you look and Google, the pollution in China has cleared for the most part. It's honestly incredible. Venice, the canals, you can actually see the seabed. Of course, that's not going to last forever because eventually the world will get back on its feet, as we always do. But it is nice to see what the world looks like when it's just a little bit cleaner. And not for nothing, all the pollution and smog in not just China, but in many parts of the world. Los Angeles, the smog is terrible. Yes, I guess up in Wuhan, up in northern China, it's pretty bad. Shanghai is pretty bad. India, there are a lot of parts of India that have really bad pollution. Maybe we'll be a little bit better about cleaning up after ourselves. I own stock in Waste Management. Waste Management is a great company. They actually, their landfills, they actually collect the natural gas that comes out of their landfills. They liquefy it and they power their truck fleet with that. That's awesome. How is that not sustainable? That's pretty good. That's basically renewable energy right there. It's not in the strictest sense, but come on, that's efficient as fuck. We all need to be more like Waste Management, efficient, and granted not clean in the strictest sense, but it's certainly better than them fueling their trucks by buying, ethanol fuel elsewhere or diesel elsewhere. So there are just little things that we all can do to maybe take a little bit better care of the earth. And again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I have to think that pollution certainly plays a factor in the spreading of disease. So let's all just pick up after ourselves a little bit better.